Newcastle County has a new man in charge. We'll find out what his priorities are and talk to the man who led the Trump charge in Delaware. This is the Delaware Way. Welcome to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Menti. Delaware just had some important elections, and one of the most, if not the most important position in northern Delaware is Newcastle County Executive, and a political neophyte, Matt Meyer, took on the establishment and won. You laughed at neophyte. I'll ask you why in a second. Joining us now is the new Newcastle County Executive, at least elect right now, Matt Meyer. Why did you laugh at neophyte?
In 11th grade, I ran for student council and nobody thought I could win, and I won. So I was a neophyte then, but I'm not a neophyte.
Oh, now you're experienced.
That's my experience.
Right. Tell people what your experience was aside from the elementary school win.
I grew up here, trained as a lawyer, worked for a large global law firm for 5 years, went abroad. I was appointed to a position as a diplomat, was embedded with the U.S. Army for a year in Mosul, Iraq, and then came back home, worked briefly for Governor Markell, and then was a school teacher at Prestige Academy, teaching 6th and 7th grade math in Wilmington. I decided to run for the first time in my life just because I thought local government matters, and I thought we could do it a lot better. And I believe that even more today than I did 8 months ago when I started.
So now I understand why you laugh at neophyte, but I get that from the press about you. But I understand this is the first time you've run for elected office, but you've been involved in politics.
Since 11th grade, that's right.
You've been involved in politics in the past. Is there a feeling? I was taken by the new mayor of Wilmington, Mike Przicki, when he won, and he said at his victory speech, you know, now I went, oh my God, now what do I do? Do you have part of that feeling that now that you have the office, what am I going to do now?
No, not at all. My interest in this is governing and governing right, and that's been the interest really since February when I started getting into this. And so we have plans, we have very specific plans. We're gathering people around us to refine those plans. We're encouraging people from the public to be included in our transition so we can refine and improve how we plan to execute those plans. So no, I think there's a strong sense about what we need to do in terms of making a more efficient, honest, and transparent local government in the county, what we need to do in terms of addressing things like the disease of addiction and the heroin epidemic that I saw every day or 2 or 3. I'd run into someone on the campaign trail who was deeply, deeply affected by heroin. Of course, public safety, when I taught 6th and 7th grade math, there were a lot of families I taught, a lot of students who couldn't go outside during the daytime in Newcastle County. So we have very serious problems, and we plan to hit the ground running in January.
It's interesting that when you listed what's important, you started with heroin and public safety. That's what you're going to tackle immediately?
Well, I think initially is honesty in government, making sure that, listen, a lot of the success of Newcastle County government will be the people surrounding me. So making sure, and that's really what we're doing the next 5 to 6 weeks, is focusing in on who are really top-notch people, who are ready to serve, who have the right ethos of service, of public service, and have the right sort of team player attitude to come and work with us.
Before you can get to the problems, you have to get people to work with you and put together an administration. Right. And you have people that are left over from Tom Gordon who were loyal to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he took a surplus in the budget and gave everybody in the county pay raises. And so you have all these people that are loyal to Tom Gordon. Will that be a problem? And are you going to be able to win over their loyalty, or will you just be eliminating them?
Yeah, I don't care that much about who they're loyal to, so long as they're loyal to the citizens of the county. And they're ready to wake up starting January 3rd and do a really good job for the people of the county. That's what matters.
Are you going through now the process of talking to people that are there and deciding whether they're going to stay?
It's more looking at we're doing some of that, but it's mostly looking at the positions for which we need to hire, and we're looking at everything as a blank slate. So those who served in the past, if they want to continue serving, we look at them compared to all the other applicants we can get, and we pick the best person in the interest of Newcastle County citizens.
You made ethics a very big part of your campaign, and you would have to believe then that under your administration there'll be a change in ethics. How does that start?
Well, we're going to do a review very early on, as I've said in my ethics policy during the campaign. We're going to do a review of the the letter of the law in the county government to make sure it's the highest standard that we should have. Make sure it matches the standards, for example, for lobbying disclosure. on the state and federal level, right? I don't think it's fair that someone gives a large contribution to a campaign and as a result gets to take me out when they have some land use deal in front of the county and have some private conversation with me. We're going to try to eliminate some of that potential, both the potential for backroom dealing and the appearance of backroom dealing, because citizens need to have confidence that, particularly with land use, but with other issues as well, that everybody's being treated fairly as a citizen.
It's all tied together, isn't it? You mentioned heroin, you mentioned crime. They're absolutely tied together. It's tied together with education. It's tied together with development. People get jobs, and there's less crime.
Right.
Let's start with development, just assuming that's maybe the beginning of everything, and it may not be, but I'm just going to lay that out because there are some that argue that the county has gotten in the way of development because there's some people that don't want more development in the county. Do you see that as a barrier that you have to break through?
Well, I think you'll find that I, as the county executive, am going to be involved a lot less with specific land use transactions. I see my role as county executive as hiring the best and smartest people with decades of experience to run the planning and land use process. I will advise them here and there. I'll certainly have my opinion, but it's by and large their process to run, just like it's the police chief's job to run the police department. I'm not going to make specific policing decisions about who to staff and where to staff.
Do you agree the county's been an impediment in development?
I think in certain instances, yes. I think it's fair to say the county has been an impediment.
And it can be your role to remove those impediments.
I think I hire people who try to make a grand plan to improve the predictability and transparency of our land use process.
Are you just going to delegate, or what do you see as your role?
I think my role is making sure that the process is a fair one. I imagine there are times when developers and neighborhood association leaders will love me, and there are times when they'll hate me. Because, of course, a lot of what they do is outcome driven. They want to know, will this CVS be built here or not? Right? That's what they want to know. And they want to know, county executive, do you support the CVS being built here or not? I'm much more process oriented. Let's make a predictable process that's fair, right? So investors, we want investors to come into our area. Investors who come in understand the process, understand it'll be predictable, and it'll be fair.
Congratulations,
Thank
sir.
you.
I thank you for coming in, and please come back. We'd like to continue talking.
Please invite me back, Larry.
We will.
Thanks.
Matt Meyer, Newcastle County Executive. When we come back, Donald Trump wins the presidency. The man who was his first supporter in the state is beaming. We'll talk to Rob Arlett next.